So Hollywood keeps telling us it's woke and progressive and anti-Trump. Well, really, because this year their big flex is turning Donald Trump's favorite Canadian cheerleader into a red carpet icon and calling it art.
Yeah. Congratulations, Hollywood. You discovered Kevin O'Leary. You cast one of Canada's worst people as a billionaire villain in Marty Supreme. You marched him down the Golden Globes red carpet in a burgundy tux, and suddenly he's Canada's favorite son. Newsflash, everyone. Canada does not claim this man. We've been actually trying to send him to you for years.
And for Americans who only know him as the bald guy yelling at people on Shark Tank, let us be very clear. Kevin O'Leary is not some quirky businessman. He's Trump's economic hype man from north of the border, and he spent years treating Canadian sovereignty like a business deal.
So when we see Hollywood fawning over his swagger and his watch collection like he's some edgy character study, what we're actually seeing is this: an industry that pretends to hate Trump while celebrating the guy who wants to turn Canada into the 51st state. So I'm sorry, we're not going to sit back and clap while you hand him the spotlight.
So who is Kevin O'Leary anyway? Well, imagine this: the most smug finance bro you've ever met. Now give him a TV show, a fortune, dual citizenships, and a microphone he never has to give back. That's Kevin O'Leary. He's the closest thing Canada has to its own Trump knockoff.
He built a whole brand on being the arrogant investor who tells everyone they're stupid and capitalism is your god now. And he loves it. In an interview for the movie, Kevin literally said that the director told him, "We're looking for a real asshole and you're it." And Kevin's response basically was, "Perfect. I've been training for this my whole life."
Mark Burnett also told him the same thing when they cast him for Shark Tank years ago. Well, I guess at least they're consistent. You gotta admire at least that.
He even brags that, "Hey, this asshole thing is starting to work for me." And how does Hollywood respond? Well, they look at him in awe and go, "Incredible self-awareness. Give this man more scenes."
They drag Trump all day and then go soft focus for O'Leary. What a wild bit of casting, so brave. Of course, nothing says moral courage like handing a spotlight to the guy nodding along with Trump from the VIP section.
And that's what feels so gross. Hollywood loves tragedy when it can turn it into Oscar bait. They stand on the stage and talk about how their stories defend the little guy, how art matters, how cinema is supposed to challenge power. But they'll look the other way at a guy who has caused real damage because there's a trophy and a glossy headline on the line.
Do they not realize casting Kevin O'Leary is like casting Donald Trump and then giving him a standing ovation? This is a guy who's perfectly happy to drag our country down the same highway the US is speeding along right now. Think about that.
This is the same Kevin O'Leary who's been out there cheerleading Trump's economic agenda. He praised Trump's idea of turning Canada into the 51st state as a huge opportunity and told Americans that Canadians want to know more about it. Newsflash, we don't.
So, while Canadians are worried about our sovereignty, our economy, and a US president working to annex our country and punish us with economic force, Kevin O'Leary is on American TV acting like Canada is a fixer-upper property that just needs the right US buyer.
Kevin O'Leary is not some neutral Canadian businessman who wandered onto a set by accident. This is a man who has spent years telling people to calm down and appreciate what Trump is doing for the economy. He literally did the "you can hate Trump, but you've got to admire his policies" line.
Now, he's been on TV defending Trump's tariffs as tough but necessary, praising how resilient America is while those same tariffs hammer Canadian workers.
And while Hollywood pretends to hate Trump and everything he's doing to the country, they're celebrating Kevin O'Leary, who's out there entertaining economic union ideas, talking about a shared currency, shared passports, and treating Canadian sovereignty like a negotiable business deal.
CUPE, a large union here in Canada, literally called him out for cozying up to Trump at Mar-a-Lago, talking about how to make Canada effectively the 51st state through economic integration. And labor leaders in this country are calling that a complete betrayal. Rightfully so.
So imagine you're Canadian. The US president is talking about annexing your country, slapping tariffs on your exports, threatening your jobs. And along comes Kevin O'Leary, who spends his weekends at Mar-a-Lago with Trump, smiling into the camera and saying, Well, hey, maybe this is a great opportunity.
And let's go back to Marty Supreme. The director decides that he needs someone audiences will dislike on sight. And instead of hiring an actor to play that, he just hires Kevin O'Leary and says, be yourself, but in 1952.
Vanity Fair does a big feature. Isn't Vanity Fair the one always exposing Trump and his cronies? But now they're celebrating O'Leary. And Kevin talks about how he didn't even bother with acting lessons because he is Milton Rockwell. And if he were in that era, that would be him.
What I don't get is the press tour turning into this big warm bath of admiration. He's so fearless. He's so honest. Look at him flex in his 4 watches. It's like everybody forgot to Google complaints about Kevin O'Leary Canada before they hit publish. Hollywood can keep calling itself progressive. It can keep pretending that it's taking a stand. But if you're going to fawn over a guy who cheers on Trump-style policies, cheers your president for trying to annex Canada, brushes off the impact of tariffs on workers, and has a tragic boat crash in his recent history that left 2 families grieving, don't expect Canadians to clap along politely.
Especially not when you sell him back to us as our big achievement. We didn't send you our best. We sent you the guy who wouldn't stop talking, and you decided to put him in a movie.
We're not against Hollywood across the board. There are some amazing activists in the community like Jane Fonda, Kerry Washington, Angelina Jolie, and of course, Mark Ruffalo.
I love what Mark Ruffalo did on the red carpet, calling out Trump for what he is. He said everything we've all been saying for years, and he had the platform to amplify it. He's a real activist that doesn't do it just for ratings or to get in the news.
Listen, if Hollywood really wanted to align its values with its casting, they'd have Ruffalo on stage every year, and Kevin O'Leary would be exactly where he belongs, yelling about interest rates on cable news while most people reach for the remote.
So while the industry pats itself on the back for its conscience while it treats a guy like O'Leary as some kind of delightful character study instead of what he is, a walking reminder of everything that's gone wrong with money, politics, and power on this entire continent, we'll be boycotting the Oscars and ignoring Marty Supreme.
If they want a Canadian to celebrate, they're spoiled for choice. Ryan Reynolds pours time and money into actual causes. Michael J. Fox has raised millions for Parkinson's research. Simu Liu is my favorite Canadian. But out of everyone that they could have put on that pedestal, they picked Kevin O'Leary.
They gave the spotlight to Mr. Real Asshole himself and called it art. So Hollywood, enjoy your party. Canada will be over here watching Schitt's Creek, heated rivalry, and taking care of the people you never bother to put on screen. And tell us in the comments what you think. Are you annoyed that Hollywood is celebrating a guy like Kevin O'Leary? Or is it just them creating great art? We want to hear from you.
And hey, if you made it this far, you're officially one of us. If you're new here, I'm Dave, this is Deb, and we talk about Canada, Trump, sovereignty, and whatever fresh nonsense the week throws at us. If you want more of that, hit subscribe, give this a like, and share it with that one friend who still thinks Kevin O'Leary is still just the guy from Shark Tank.
And if you want to go a level deeper with us, join our A-team, our channel members, and our Substack crew. The links are down below for all of the above.
Thanks for watching, everybody. That'll do it for us today. Stay tuned for tomorrow's episode.